This is Leadership TV. See ahead, move ahead, stay ahead.
Hello, welcome to the 30-part leadership series. Just yesterday, we started looking at the pastor as a smart leader. And in part one, we looked at the pastor as a smart thinking leader. Today, in part two, we are looking at the pastor as a smart talking leader. The smart talking leader. Acts chapter 7, verse 22 says, Moses was educated in all the wisdom of the Egyptians and was powerful in speech and action. You remember when God called Moses, he said to God he couldn't speak because he was a stammerer. And God had to call Aaron to go with Moses as his spokesperson. But in the book of Acts, the Bible says that Moses was powerful in speech. How was he powerful in speech? How did he become powerful in speech? Because Moses realized that being a stammerer was not going to help him to become a good spiritual leader. So he had to develop himself to learn. And that is why in his education in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, he also educated himself in terms of the ability to speak. And that's why the Bible said he was powerful in speech. Now, when we say somebody is powerful in speech, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person shouts and screams. It means that the person makes sense when he's speaking. I want to share with you the 7 most powerful words of highly persuasive pastors. The 7 most powerful words of highly persuasive pastors. Before I look at it, I want you to consider this quote by Mark Amidon. Mark Amidon said, language is the means of getting an idea from my brain into yours without surgery. So you see what I'm doing right now? I'm getting ideas from my brain into yours without surgery. Amazing, amazing, definitely amazing. I want us to just look at these powerful words that can make you have powerful speeches and deliver powerful and be able to speak well and deliver well. So the 7 most powerful words of highly persuasive leaders. Number 1, they speak timely words. They speak timely words. You see, all smart talking pastors speak timely words. Proverbs 15 verse 23. A man finds joy in giving an apt reply. And how good is a timely word? So what is a timely word? A timely word is a right word spoken by the right person to the right person at the right place and at the right time. So you see, pastors who talk smart, they know when to speak, how to speak, where to speak, who to speak to. You see, most pastors focus on speaking as preachers. But actually, 90% of the communication you do is not by preaching. It is oral communication between you and individuals. It's an oral communication between you and your wife, oral communication between you and your children, oral communication between you and the departmental leaders, oral communication between you and your friends, between you and your church members when people come for counseling. For you to be regarded as a very smart pastor, one of the key things that must be noted about you is that you talk smart. And the first way to talk smart is that you must speak timely words. It's not everything you say because you have the right to say it. You don't say it anyhow, anywhere, anytime. Sometimes I even hear leaders who say, for me, I speak my mind. When I speak what is on my mind, that is it. I say what I have to say and then I move on. Please, 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 please. Don't say what you want to say and move on. Say what you want to say at the right place, at the right time, to the right person, and in the right manner. And you must be the right person to say it. There are some sermons, you might be the senior pastor, you might not be the right person to preach it. That's why sometimes you bring in other pastors to come and share. So learn these things and always make sure you share timely words. The second most powerful words of smart talking leaders is that they speak words of insight. Proverbs 5 verse 1. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen well to my words of insight. So what is a word of insight? These are words spoken based on maturity and experience. You see, smart talking pastors speak words based on maturity and experience. When they are speaking, you see that this person, this is a word of a matured person. And a word of a matured person is based on experience. Experience must make you grow. So when you are saying something, you can see maturity. The way I used to talk and address things 10 years ago is not the same way, because I have grown by experience. Maturity by experience. So you see, if you're a smart leader, a smart talking leader, when you speak, people say, this is a matured man. People respect you. They respect you because they are words of wisdom. They are words of wisdom. They come from you. That is why you must seek maturity. Sometimes you go to a meeting and people are speaking, and by just looking at everybody, you know that, okay, this is matured, this is not matured, this is the way I should address this is the way I should address this. And then you draw conclusions about people. The maturity of every pastor is seen in his words. Of every leader is seen in that leader's words. If you are matured, you speak words of insights. Number 3, they speak pleasant words. Smart talking pastors speak pleasant words. Proverbs 16 verse 24. Pleasant words are honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. You see, pleasant words are words of encouragement, words of acknowledgement at recognizing and appreciating and respecting people. You see, you find some leaders who only criticize. They just look at people and they criticize them. They don't have pleasant words. They are always saying things that are bringing people down, discouraging people, killing people's self-confidence, etc. There are people, when you work for them, they kill your self-confidence. There are even men that can kill your self-confidence by the way they criticize you. There are even women that can kill their husband's self-confidence. There are bosses that can kill their staff's self-confidence. There are pastors that can kill even the whole congregation's self-confidence. Their whole sermon is based on criticism. They don't appreciate people. If you truly want to grow people around you, encourage people to build and to go on, learn to speak pleasant words. When people do the right thing, praise them, talk about them. If you are afraid to celebrate people, you are not a smart leader. The next word they speak, the 4th word, is that they speak reliable words. Reliable words. Proverbs 22 verse 21. Teaching you true and reliable words so that you can give sound answers to him who sent you. You see, leaders build trust and earn respect with reliable words. They mean what they say and say what they mean. When your followers begin to feel that you throw your words about, you give promises you do not intend to keep, and that you don't have integrity, you are finished. You cannot instruct people. You cannot inform people because they will not trust what you say. The next is that they speak words of knowledge. Words of knowledge. Words of knowledge. Proverbs 23 verse 12. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge. You see, whilst words of insight is based on experience, words of knowledge is based on education. Smart talking pastors educate themselves. Smart talking leaders educate themselves. They educate themselves so well that when they speak, people value the things they speak. It's based on research. It's based on time-tested information. Because smart speaking leaders acquire information. They do research before they speak. They learn before they speak. 6, they speak quiet words. They speak quiet words. Ecclesiastes 9 verse 17. The quiet words of the wise are more to be heeded than the shouts of the ruler of fools. Smart talking leaders don't go about shouting and fighting with everybody. They don't go into a shouting bout with people. They know how to use quiet words to convince people to see their side of the story. You don't go to office and shout on everybody. You don't go to a meeting and shout on everybody to get everybody to get it. You cannot intimidate people by just shouting. You lose respect by shouting. Finally, they speak persuasively. Proverbs 7 verse 21. With persuasive words, she led him astray. Unfortunately, persuasive words in this context, it wouldn't a bad context, but there's words that we call persuasive words. Sometimes you see, You use persuasive words to get people to come to your side. Don't intimidate people to accept your views. Smart leaders persuade people. They don't persecute people to accept their views. They persuade people. Thank you for joining me. I hope it's been a blessing to you. God bless you. Thank you. The mission of the Tete Ofe Center is to provide all manner of leadership learning opportunities to all manner of leaders in all manner of ways, mostly at no cost to these leaders who study at the Tete Ofe Center. To be able to finance the Tete Ofe Center and make sure that our projects are sustainable, I want to invite you to buy the Tete Ofe books on Amazon. Any book you buy is donated to the Tete Ofe Center for the development and the training of the next generation of godly servant leaders. Tete Ofe Center every year hosts the African Young Leaders Fellowship Program, where we attract young leaders from across Africa free of charge for a 10-day leadership development program. We also host MELT, the Management, Entrepreneurship and Leadership Training Program. And this attracts also young men and women who spend weekends with us here at no cost to them at all. Tete Ofe Center also hosts some of the biggest young pastors leadership conference. Is called IPLAS, the International Pastors and Leaders Under 40 Summit, where we house over 3,000 young pastoral leaders at no cost to them at all in our facilities. And we want you to support us to keep doing these things. Recently, we signed an MOU with the biggest student organization in Ghana, NUGS, the National Union of Ghana Students, to provide free leadership training to student leaders across the country. This is worth supporting. And above all, the Tete Ofe Center is also a mission center where this training offers us the opportunity to serve Jesus with our participants. Why don't you support the Tete Ofe Center by buying a Tete Ofe book, by creating a Tete Ofe library right now? Do it now, and the Lord will bless you.
This is Leadership TV. See ahead, move ahead, stay ahead.